Hey everyone, in today's video I want to show you two interesting colors from Daniel Smith, Bronzite Genuine and Burnt Bronzite Genuine. These are made from the Bronzite stone from Brazil. So these are made from minerals. There is no pigment coat on the label. So it just says here the pigment is genuine bronzite and this is genuine burnt bronzite. These are actually earth colors. They are transparent, non-staining and granulating. What's interesting about these colors are when they dry, they have this sparkle under the light, which is really nice. The tinting strength here is quite similar to other earth colors, which means if you want to get the intensity, you may have to use a bit more paint. The tinting strength here is quite similar to other earth colors, which means if you want to get the intensity, you may have to use a bit more paint. Let's see how it looks when it's diluted. This is the cup of water that I'm using to wash my brush. There is already some sparkle inside. From what I've read on Daniel Smith's website, these sparkles are actually from the light reflected off iron oxide. Next we have burnt bronzite. This is a more reddish version of the bronzite. I'm going to compare this color with some rather similar looking colors later on. The paint has dried. Can you see the sparkle? It's actually quite obvious. When it's diluted, it's less obvious, but there is still some sparkling bits. It's more obvious when you use a lot of paint. So that's bronzite, and this is burnt bronzite. We have the sparkle as well. It's more obvious when you turn the paper to face the light. And again, when it's diluted, it's not that obvious. Here's a comparison with other earth colors that I have. This is raw umber, obviously very different from bronzite. Burnt sienna is definitely more reddish compared to burnt bronzite. This is goethite brown ochre. This is more yellow compared to bronzite. This is burnt umber, sort of like the darker, much darker and more intense version of bronzite, but without the sparkle. But with bronzite, you definitely cannot get such dark values. This is English red ochre, PR101, and when it's diluted, it kind of looks similar, but when it's concentrated, again, this is more intense. Let's mix bronzite with some other colors and see what we can get. This is pyroscarlet. So you may be able to get some sort of skin tone, sparkling skin tone. This is bronzite with quinacridone red, PV19. Too much red again. So this red is really overpowering. And bronzite with ultramarine. So it actually takes some time to dissolve. Oh, we can get a nice neutral gray, it seems. Very nice, a gray that sparkles. Lastly, with cerulean blue. I should be able to get some sort of gray as well. Not as nice compared to ultramarine. This appears to be a bit greenish. And now let's do the same thing this time with burnt bronzite. So earlier on I used a bit too much red, so I'm going to use the paint that I have earlier here. So with Pyro Scarlet and burnt bronzite, we can see this very reddish earth color. And with Quinacridone red, let's see what we have. And this is with Ultramarine. Looks kind of nice as well. Burnt Bronzite with Cerulean Blue Chromium. So these are how the mixes look when dry. So when you use a red, you can get some sort of brown, reddish, skin tone-like color. With the blues, you can get a neutralized gray wash, although with the bronzite, with cerulean blue, this looks a bit greenish compared to the burnt bronzite with cerulean blue, which is more gray. And here it looks a bit more gray as well. I think burnt bronzite, it can be an alternative to burnt sienna. So this can be the sparkling version of burnt sienna. Can you see the sparkle? It can be nice or it can be distracting. And this is, you can get some nice skin tones with burnt bronzite. And this is the non-burnt version. Let's use burnt bronzite to paint this sketch, this self-portrait. So on its own, burnt bronzite, it's kind of dark. Let's add a little bit of Quinacridone red. Looks alright. The sparkle may make people who are looking at your sketch do a double take. It looks interesting, definitely. See that background here? I use a bit too much water. Now these two colors, bronzite and burnt bronzite, I'm not sure what are the best subject to paint with these colors. I'll need to experiment more with them. Anyway, if you are using these colors, I would love to hear from you. Let me know what are the subjects that you commonly paint with them, and also whether you like these colors or not. Alright, thanks for watching today's video. See you in the next one. Bye!